Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Lesley and I are here today for our Profitable Interior Design broadcast, where we teach a little behind the scenes of what we teach in our Profit Insider Academy 1-year small group program. So we always try to take these topics that we teach in our group and sort of give you little tidbits that you can do yourself, okay? The ones that are doing it themselves every single day and not being coached. So Lesley, tell everyone what we're talking about today.
We are talking about how to market to your ideal client. Now, like Nancy said, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much involved with this. One important thing being, how do you even determine your ideal client? And we do go through that in depth in the Profit Insiders Academy. But for today, we're just going to assume that you know who you want to reach. Who's the client that you want to get in the door? And we've got a few tips to help you find them and connect with them.
Okay, so which 3 tips are we choosing today? Because there's so many. It's connecting with your ideal client is a lot about you putting yourself out there authentically so that the personality that's attracted to you works well with you, right? And that is such a large lesson, but focus on the first one.
So we're going to talk about thinking in detail and figuring out how have your best past clients found you. So if you go through your list of clients you've worked with, who were the best? And I'm air quoting that because that is subjective. The factors I look for is, did I enjoy working with them? Were they nice people? Was the job profitable? Was it an ideal scope, investment level? You can make your own criteria, but those are 3 things that are important to me. It's not just about profitability, but it's about, did you enjoy the process? Is this a client that works well with how you like to work and your lifestyle and your goals and visions? So once you know who your best clients were, and if you don't have any yet, make a dream list and go with that and do more of that. How did those clients find you?
Yeah. I mean, you know that we start out every Profit Insider Academy group saying, what's the good news, right? And when someone says, I got 2 new consults or 6 new consults since the last meeting. And we're like, the first thing I always ask is, where did they come from?
Yes. How did they find you?
How did they find you? Because how they found you is usually indicative of where you want to put more effort into your marketing. Right? So if your ideal client found you through Instagram, then do a little bit more of Instagram and do it in the way that is authentic to you. If they found you through networking locally, then do more of that, right?
That's a great side tip is if you're not asking how clients found you or tracking it, start doing that too, because you need to know how people are finding you.
Yes. And I always find it so amazing. I started doing that because sometimes there's people in our group program that might be resistant to, let's say, Facebook personal profile. And then when someone says, oh my God, I got them through posting on my personal profile on Facebook that I was looking for a sofa at a showroom, and someone that, oh, I didn't know you were a designer, and they got a client that way. So when people hear how people are getting their clients, it makes them think, maybe I could try that method. Maybe I try that type of post. Maybe I try that type of networking group in my local area and see if it works, right? So people are always asking, do print ads work? Do giving donations to PTAs work? Like all kinds of things. So this is a huge topic, but definitely number one, once you know who your ideal client is, write it all down. And then every single time you get a new client, ask them, can I ask how you found me? Where you first found me? Right? Where do most of your leads come from at this point?
Me meeting people. I'm getting a lot of Google search lately, but those don't always end up being the best clients. Sometimes they are. There are the unicorns that come through, but often they are price shoppers and people who are just researching and contacting multiple designers. My best clients have come from when I have spoken at a networking event, like a Rotary Club, Optimist Club, that kind of thing, Junior League.
Which is, by the way, our tip number 2. If you're starting out, do all the free things that Lesley just mentioned, right? Use your local free meetup groups and get out there. And I remember there was a time were you sitting at a Starbucks or a Dunkin' or something, and somebody walked up to you?
Not Dunkin', I promise you that.
It was?
No, I hate Dunkin'. Sorry, Dunkin' Donuts.
Not Dunkin'.
Oh man, we got to talk. Anyway, I was sitting at a coffee shop. Yes.
And
I had a custom skin printed from my laptop. So like a big sticker that goes on the top of your laptop. And it just had my business name and my tagline. And it was kind of an invitation. Like it was clear I was working, but it was an invitation for people to ask. And I had someone come up to me and he's like, interior design, blah, blah, and just started asking me questions. And it turns out that he was a realtor and his wife was a financial planner. I was like, well, those are two ideal network connections. And that was just from getting out from behind my desk, working in public, no headphones on. That's the universal sign of leave me alone. This was, I'm out here to be social and chat and get some work done and have a cup of coffee. And it started a relationship and a conversation. And it's just a little thing, but that makes a difference.
It does make a difference.
Connect with and put out that invitation. If you're working in a coffee shop, head down, headphones on, secretive. I've also had it where people have just seen on my screen that I'm working on a 3D rendering or a floor plan. And they're like, oh, that's cool. Like people like that stuff. And you never know who you're going to meet by just getting out from behind your desk.
Yeah. I mean, I remember being at Home Goods years ago, and I was an art consultant back then, many moons ago. And somebody was trying to pick out artwork and they just started like, I can't figure out what to do. And I just started talking to them and helping them. Right. And interior designers do that all the time when they're in stores, right? Helping people. It's those connections. And that then takes us to the third tip, which is really, there are many, many companies that have the same ideal client as you have. Who are these companies? Who are these local stores? Who are the local restaurants, barbers, anything that you can identify as your ideal client hangs out in a place like this.
Yes.
Can you get in with that owner, with that, and do a collaboration or do a joint venture of some kind in order to grow your visibility and your audience? Even on your posts, you could be tagging manufacturers that people tend to look for, because then they may find you. And I know this is a big, and I don't want to share my resources, but I share my resources all the time out in the open. I share every tip that I have freely. Go to my YouTube channel, on my lives. The bottom line is you can do it yourself only to a certain extent sometimes. And then you might need some help. You might need some help to push you to the next level, the accountability, the consistency, and learning the right way to do it to avoid mistakes. That's why people hire designers too. All the same reasons, right? You can read about interior design. You can read about the best colors, the space that you're planning. But when you start to do it yourself and it's not your forte, you're like, I just need somebody else to do it for me. So putting yourself out there on a regular basis to audiences of similar companies who have the same ideal client as you is a brilliant way to grow your visibility and your following and hopefully get new clients.
Yeah. And I think sort of the basic ones with that we all think about, realtors, architects, landscapers, builders, people that are in the home industry. But we're encouraging you to think beyond that. Who else is serving your ideal client? Financial planners, high-end hair salons, personal trainers, high-end fitness centers,
yes,
nail salons. I mean, where are your ideal clients going and investing their time and money and energy? And how can you connect with those people? There is a very high-end florist here in Macon, and I've got to reach out to her, but I've been thinking about doing a collaboration with her because I think that would be a great fit. She is like, budget, order online, get your bouquet delivered in an hour kind of thing. Like this is beautiful wedding and event and very high end. And again, we're not doing the same thing, but the same kinds of people would have that would hire her to help with their event or their vision for that.
Yes. And I saw a interior designer from Long Island that I know personally. And I saw her do a whole collaboration with a real estate agent where they were giving away a kitchen makeover in order to do the following steps on their Instagram, and they grew their following. Yep. There's so many ways to do it. And like I said, we just gave 3 tips today. There's probably 25 or more ways to reach your ideal client. And it's got to be, I'd say, comfortable for you as a designer, but also pushing you out of your comfort zone a little bit, because the more scared you are, probably the better that decision is for you to try. The minute you start feeling fear and resistance is your body telling you, I don't want to do it. And it's usually something you know is going to be a success if you could actually just get yourself to do it.
Yes,
right?
It's going to be uncomfortable. This was one of the tips you gave me years ago when you were one of my first coaches, Nancy, was get out from behind the computer and go talk to people. A lot of us hide behind social media and our nice little offices, and we don't actually have to put ourselves out there. And it's like, oh, I did a Facebook post and it didn't do that well. Oh, well, like, okay, then what else do you need to do to get known? And I'm telling you, I feel like sometimes it's a good thing, but I can also be the bottleneck in my business because when I get out and talk to people, I get work. When I go to events, when I meet, like, people want to connect with you. This is an industry that is very intimate and relationships matter.
Yes.
People do not hire a designer if they don't like them. It's the know, like, and trust factor. They need to know you, like you, and trust you. The best way to do that is to meet people and talk to them and
talk to them, and actually be yourself also. We have one designer who said, I'm a designer and I do beautiful designs. And she does. She says, but my own house is a little unorganized and a mess, and I never want to show that. And I'm like, don't you think people who run their houses a little unorganized and messy would love you as their designer, because you are not going to be judgmental of them?
Because you get them. They feel
right?
Yeah.
They'll feel seen, like you said. You'll get them. I remember as an art consultant, I had no artwork on my walls for years. And then when I did, I had price tags on all of them. Like, it was terrible. But that was my reality. And people found that funny and relatable. Like, they've lived in their houses for 15 years with no artwork.
Yeah.
Right? So be yourself, put yourself out there, get out from behind your computer, find companies that have the similar ideal client as you have, and try to create some kind of a friendship, collaboration, coordination, something with them, so that you can also take advantage of this cross-pollination of their audience and your audience. You're helping them too. That's what I want you to remember. You're helping them too by exposing them to your audience. So, and just don't give up. It's consistency, consistency, consistency in trying to get to your ideal client. And over the years, this is the one last thing I'll say, is that your ideal client changes over the years. What's happened to yours, Lesley?
I feel like it has definitely shifted as I have grown and matured and gone into a different life stage. So have my clients.
Yes. Yes. So your strategy for getting to your ideal clients 5 years ago is completely different from getting to your ideal client now, because your ideal client has morphed and changed with you.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that's important to know, is that what was working or what was your ideal client may shift, and that's okay. That is natural, and it's okay to up level and change your strategy. And I wanted to mention too, if it's not working, stop putting time and energy into it. Everyone feels like Instagram. There are some wonderful unicorn designers who get tons of business from Instagram, and that's amazing. And if that's working for you, keep on keeping on. There are many designers. In 10 years of my own business, have gotten one great client from Instagram. I've gotten some, a consultation here and there. I've gotten a lot of tire kickers, and I have an Instagram account for that brand awareness, but it's not what is converting to clients. And so I'm not putting as much time and energy there. I'm not using it as a strategy to get new clients because it isn't working for me to find my best clients. I know what works, and it takes a bit of vulnerability and courage to get out from behind the desk.
Yep.
I talk to humans. I'm an introvert. That makes me deeply uncomfortable. It takes practice. It's not always going to be easy. In fact, it probably isn't going to be easy to go do the thing that is required to get those best ideal clients through the door. And that's part of being a business owner. If this were easy, everybody would do it. And it isn't. So
it isn't. And that's, I think, one of the best things about the Academy. So our group program called the Profit Insider Academy is a small group coaching, because not every one of your businesses are the same. They are all different. And I don't want to have a group of 200 people that I can't help personally, and you can't help personally grow their business in the way that they need to, and what they're struggling with, right? Yes, we teach some standard business lessons. You need to know these things to run a great business and have a well-balanced life. But then each of you have your different struggles, right? As some people are more introverted, have trouble getting out there on even social media, even learning how to use social media, and then getting out from behind their computer when they know that's the best way to get their clients. And we are here to be your teachers, your cheerleaders, your rock on, keep on going, and get you on the days that you don't feel like doing anything.
Yeah.
Out from behind your computer or on your computer being productive. That's what we are here for. So if you are struggling to grow your interior design business to at least where you're making a living and it's not a hobby, and you're struggling with, maybe you're making a ton of money, but you have no time and your family is getting upset with you, or struggling getting that right client in the door for the type of work you want to do, or with your process. How do you do things? How do you do A, B, C, D, E to get to the beginning to the end of a job with a satisfied, happy client? And so much more. How do you deal with contractors? Where do you buy furnishings? How do you price yourself right? What is your ladder of services? Literally so much is covered in this program, and this is why it's a one-year program, and it is set to be very personalized. So I understand everyone's business. So does Lesley, and we can guide you accordingly. We are taking applications now. It starts September 17th. It meets twice a month for a year, and it is business changing. It is life changing. Just go read the testimonial. So if you're interested, go to my website. At the top, there's going to be a banner that comes down. You can click on that to fill out a quick application, get on my calendar to discuss what you need in your business, what you think you need, and then I'll tell you if I see the same thing or if I see something differently. Am I missing anything, Lesley?
No, I would just really strongly encourage everyone listening, if this is something that's kind of piquing your interest, apply, book the call. Nancy is not going to bullshit you. I know that. And I love, Nancy, that you are very transparent with designers on those application review calls, that if they are a fit, let's go. And if they're not, you're great at also just supporting them and redirecting them as well. So it's not a risk. I know this sounds like it's going to infomercial land. Just freaking do it. You've wasted so much time struggling on your own. Get some support. This is an amazing group that you will grow deep with and move forward with and do amazing big things with. So I hope to see you in our next Profit Insiders group in September.
Yes. And you get 2 coaches in one program, right? And Lesley has added a tremendous amount to the program where she can actually help with the process of interior design as well if you're struggling with that. But mostly we focus on business, profitability, pricing, process, communication with your clients, and all the decisions you have to make to run a great business. That's what we help you with. So I hope you fill out an application if you're struggling with your business. The worst thing I hear on these applications, at the end of a year program is, I wish I had done this 20 years ago. I wish I did it 10 years ago. I wish I did this 5 years ago. I struggled and didn't make enough money for how hard I work for so many years. And that's why I'm so strong in these conversations. Like, don't sit and struggle. Hire a coach. If it's not me and Lesley, it's someone who you can relate to, who can change the world over the next year. So by next year, this time, you're just making the money you're supposed to be making. And you know what you're doing, right? Easy.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. All right, everyone, we will see you next week. If you have any questions about any of our programs, just message Lesley or I. We're happy to answer. And if you just ready to change your business to something that you like more than you like today, fill out an application and we'll get on my calendar. We'll have a quick chat. Talk to you next time. Bye, everyone.